10 scary things found on Google Maps. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Coming in at number 10, and we have a possible Scientology base. So Scientology is a weird mixture of science and religion, with quite a little bit of aliens thrown into the mix. Every time we get to hear about it is when a Hollywood celebrity gets associated with it, which is probably for the best as it's all too complicated to understand. What's weird, however, is that there are a bunch of sites around USA and the world that are suspected to be Scientology bases. One of them is the Trementina base in New Mexico, which is visible from Google Maps. It's just two overlapping circles with diamond shapes in their centres, and someone has clearly gone to great lengths to make it. While most people thought that it was a facility to flag aliens making their way to Earth, an ex-Scientologist denied it, as that would pretty much be ridiculous. But I mean, most of these Scientology bases are kept secret for a reason, so you never know, and I mean, it could have something to do with aliens. I mean, look at Area 51. At number 9, and we have Sandy Island. So mysterious things have been appearing on world maps ever since we started making maps. Because our maps were consistently updated with input from explorers, it wasn't uncommon for an unknown piece of land to show up on the maps. While it's an error most of the time, on occasions maps do contain things that we had no idea existed. Take Sandy Island in the Pacific Ocean, which showed up on some maps but not on others. In reality, there's nothing there and has since been removed by Google Maps. It's not entirely an error though, as the island has been showing up on maps since at least 1876. It was first recorded by a whaling ship called Velocity, and we still have no idea what it is that they saw. Some say that it must have been a raft, though others believe that it's a magical island that only shows itself to the worthy. Either way, it sounds very interesting. At number 8, and we have a giant bunny. Now, imagine just browsing through Google Maps and accidentally running into a giant, disfigured pink bunny. It's located in northern Italy, and its face is all out of shape and visibly screaming, giving the whole thing an even more unsettling vibe. If you stumble upon it, you may assume that your app is glitching, or that someone actually went to great lengths to build a giant creepy bunny for people to look at from above. Fortunately, that is the latter, and in reality the bunny is part of an art installation by a Viennese collective, and it's meant to serve as a hangout spot for visitors. One of the members says that it's supposed to be a huge thing that makes you feel small, which it probably does if you do see it up close. This Jenny Bunny Rabbit actually reminds me of the giant bunny rabbit in that movie, Honey, I Blew Up the Baby. At number 7, and we have Nagoro, Japan. Okay, so if you're ever exploring the Japanese countryside on Google Maps, chances are that you stumbled upon the sparsely populated village of Nagoro. From a distance, it may look like it's full of people casually chilling around all over town, but if you zoom in a little bit, you'd come to realize that they're actually lifeless dolls. The village is actually on its way to being completely abandoned, as its residents keep leaving it for better opportunities in other cities. The dolls are made by a woman called Ayano as a tribute to its departed. Now, I don't know about you guys, but knowing that all of these dolls represent someone who is now dead, it does raise the creepy factor of the whole thing. At number 6, and we have underwater pyramids. Okay, so I'm not massively into conspiracy theories unless they're creepily awesome, but mysterious locations found on Google Maps, they have done their part in giving some credible evidence to many of these conspiracies. One of them is the underwater pyramids found on Google Maps in the Bahamas. Many tabloids and conspiracy lovers hailed the discovery as proof of aliens, or even Atlantis, and even a variety of other things that probably aren't real. Funnily enough though, it was actually found by a conspiracy theorist. Some experts believe that it may have been something built by an ancient civilization, although they also admit that there's no way to disprove that it's actually not a secret alien base. At number 5, and we have the Pigeon People. Okay, so this is a weird one. If you explore the streets of West Tokyo on Google Maps, you may run into a row of people just standing and looking at you. They may come across as people just staring at the Google Street View crew out of curiosity, but the creepy thing is, all of these people have pigeon masks on. Now, apart from the question of where the hell do people even find so many pigeon masks to wear, I mean, it's all rather unsettling, but as it turns out, the Pigeon People were actually locals who knew about the Google crew, and they wanted to appear in the final photo of the street. So it's all rather harmless and fun, but it's still a creepy photo. Number 4, and we have abandoned gas masks. Okay, so if you go exploring Pripyat in Ukraine, which is the site of the worst nuclear disaster in history, you will find a ghost town with abandoned buildings that won't be inhabited again for a very long time to come. The creepiest sight in the whole town, however, has to be the room full of abandoned masks, which is saying a lot because in a town full of creepy sights, there's a lot of creepy shit going on in this one. We don't know whether if it's more disturbing because there are so many gas masks, or the fact that they're actually child-sized gas masks and they're located inside an abandoned school. It doesn't bear thinking about of what actually went down in this place. At number 3, and we have El Bronx, Colombia. So El Bronx in Bogota, Colombia has managed to earn the reputation of being one of the most dangerous places in the city before it was demolished. One of the most crime-riddled regions in the country, it certainly didn't make for a nice walk at night or any time of the day really. While the area doesn't exist anymore, Google Street View crew managed to capture it at the peak of its glory. What may look like normal streets of a slum is made multiple times more horrifying if you knew that the neighborhood was actually known for child prostitution and murder. Some of those buildings also housed murder victims at times, who were then fed to starving dogs as a message to rival gangs. It's literally hell on earth, and it doesn't bear thinking about how scary it would be to just walk through this city. At number 2, and we have Ariel Castro's blurred out house. Okay, so when it comes to highly publicized gruesome acts of crimes, very few cases manage to grip national conscience, like the story of Ariel Castro. He kidnapped 3 women and kept them hostage for 9 years, and was only arrested when one of them escaped with her 6-year-old child, which was actually conceived and gave birth to while in captivity. So Castro was charged with multiple counts of rape, aggravated murder, kidnap, and attempted murder, among others. So how is it related to Google Maps? Well, the house that Castro kept the women in could be seen on Google Street View, except that it's completely blurred out. Seeing this house blurred out because of the seriousness of the crime somehow makes quite disturbing knowing of what went on there. And at Craig's top spot number 1, and we have a murder victim. Okay, so for those who have always wondered whether if Google Maps has ever accidentally recorded a serious crime, well, I'm here to tell you that yes, it has. The case in question was of a 14-year-old boy in Richmond, California, whose dead body showed up on Google Maps. It was seen with police cars and a bunch of detectives standing around, suggesting that it was taken after the body was found. Understandably, the images brought back some awful emotions for the victim's father, who immediately requested Google to have the image removed. it was gone from their maps within days. However, as we all know, if an image has been found on the internet, then it will still be out there. It does make me wonder though, if Google Maps captured this image, then maybe Google has other accidental images of other serious crimes around the world. And that was 10 scary things found on Google Maps. So guys, what did you think of my list? Is there something that you think that should have been on this list? If so, let me know in the comments box below. Okay guys, so if you're still here, then thank you all for sticking around until the end of the video. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, stay safe, and I will see you all again very soon.